There aren't even pastors that say, well, I don't like President Trump, but I definitely don't agree with the witches that are there. They won't even do that.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
There are two things that Donald Trump is doing. Number one, he's judging evil. If you look at what he's coming against, it all is in the category of evil. Why did he go to Nigeria? Because the terrorists were killing. Why did he bomb Iran? Because Iran said that they were going to create a nuclear bomb and kill Israel and the United States. Are we supposed to just let it happen? When you look at who he goes after the drug dealers. He goes after the predators. He goes after the You ready for this one?
Uh-oh.
This is for your deeper audience.
Come on.
Let me tell you something. When I knew this man was being used by God, in his first term, I don't know if you remember this, the witches, the warlocks, and the abortionists all came together. And this is what they said, I quote, "We are asking everyone in the United States to join us on Facebook Live as we cast curses on the President of the United States and all who support him." It was a Facebook Live. It was nationwide. Told my wife, I said, let's see how stupid the preachers are on this one. Because the last time I checked, Jesus said Satan will never attack his own.
Come on now.
That's what Jesus said. And Jesus ain't never wrong. So if he said Satan will never cast out Satan, he will never attack his own, and then the people who represent Satan are attacking Trump, and then somewhere you got to ask the question is, well, maybe this Trump man is not of Satan.
Oh, my gosh.
See, but they don't think like that. They don't know how to think. They just go with their emotions, and they go with their arrogance and their pride. Everybody thinks that they know what they're talking about.
Wow. All right. What did you think of that? He brought up some points that I had not even considered.
I mean, first off, there's a few pastors that are doing that. And I loved it. He said it so plain. And it should apply to everything. Like, we should be taking that advice, not just as it applies to President Trump, but us, but basic policies by what the news is doing. Who's for it and who's against it?
Mm-hmm.
If all wickedness is for, when they're for something that is evil, that you know to be sinful, to be vile, to be an abomination, why? And so I love that. You're right. Why did we have Wiccans? We have all this stuff coming out against him. Well, then why? Because he's fighting for policies that are true and that are good. So what side are we on? And I love that, because really for Christians, again, we're seeing this from different pulpits. Oh, and the person that I was referring to is that the bishop, Marianne Budd, who was, praying on Trump for playing. She prayed for him to have compassion for the LGBTQ community, for immigrants and vulnerable communities. Why? From a pulpit and an Episcopalian person praying for the LGBTQ.
There's that compassion again. We were just talking about that too.
But this was perfect. If everything that's representing evil is against one person, I'm going to look the other way and say, oh, you might be onto something. Again, you don't have to agree with President. You don't have to like his personality. You don't have to like it. But when all evil comes up against him, when witches are praying against him and casting curses, and you're on the side of the witches saying, yeah, go ahead and curse him. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, we talked about this before on here, but when you see the cast of characters that are on the left, that are on in opposition of certain issues that we champion as Christian conservatives, I would not want to be a Democrat these days, folks. I really wouldn't. And I said this before, when we went to the Supreme Court to the rally to champion getting trans boys out of girls sports, what was a couple weeks ago, the opposition was full of weirdos. I mean, when I tell you, it looked like, I say this often, it looked like the island of misfit toys. I mean, these were half naked people walking around. I mean, we're in DC in winter, so it was like 30 degrees. I was freezing cold. There were signs for the Church of Satan. I mean, these were the people that were doing counter protests to Riley Gaines, and our side was full of like pastors and Christians and moms they're pushing their kids in the baby strollers. And then on the opposite side, you got the Church of Satan. Something is wrong there, folks. Something is wrong with the Democrat Party. Something is wrong with the American left. Okay. I don't understand how people can still be on that side. And as he said, you have President Trump out here who is going after predators. I mean, that's one thing Pam Bondi's done right, and the DOJ and the FBI. They've been going. I've never seen so many stories of how they have arrested so many predators, how they have saved so many children that were trafficked. You know, the abortionists he's going after, you know, the doctors who are doing these trans surgeries. I mean, the list goes on. I don't care. I don't know how people can logically, realistically, morally say that they are in the Democrat Party these days. I really don't.
No, and it's just, again, this is like Mark chapter 7, verse 21 through 23. This is about the wickedness that's coming from the heart of man.
Yeah.
So there are those that are Christian and they don't even recognize wickedness anymore. Because anybody that is out there cheering this on and then cheering on cursing, like actual throwing demonic curses. We look at Tim Waltz, right? What did he get? He got an award in his own hall, and they dedicated the Church of Satan gave him his own plaque. And he didn't even have the notion to condemn it. It was, and I think on the plaque it says something like, Satan has a special place for you. Which
wow.
You got to look up that plaque. It's lovely. It's like sitting in their halls of Congress. It's something important. But the Church of Satan is rewarding people. When the Church of Satan starts rewarding me as a politician or as a preacher, there is a problem. When the Church of Satan comes out and it is, casting curses and rounding up, like you said, the cast of misfit toys, and they're coming up against something that rational people should realize is not normal. Like, just can we just get average, basic thinking people? It's not just Democrat or even Republican. It's coming down to wicked, far left wickedness. Because it's really taken over an entire party. Yes, but it's just far wicked. It's good and evil. This is good and evil. And so what I got out of what he said is the bottom line. When evil starts attacking in all forms, multiple different forms of evil start coming up like a gang of evil against one man or against one group, we should be paying attention and saying, what is God doing? That evil is coming against it. Because when evil comes against me, it's usually because I'm on the right track.
Yeah, you're right. And I liked what he said. I actually was not familiar with that scripture. But it is the Gospel of Matthew 12:26 says, if Satan drives out Satan, he is divided against himself. How then can his kingdom stand? Powerful word of God. And it like you mentioned, it's basically as he said, the facts matter. We had the witchcraft element, that's not symbolic. It's open. Self-identified witches and occult activists have publicly claimed to cast spells on President Trump. This is crazy, but again, we're here to stand against all of that. And again, the principle is simple. Evil does not undermine its own power. Darkness does not attack darkness, and Satan does not sabotage his own agenda. So when we see these things happening, that's a ding, 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 ding. Maybe I need to take a second look at this. Maybe I need to reevaluate my political views. Maybe I need to reevaluate how I see the world.
Yeah.
Because the world is showing me what it is. And it's just on us to say whether or not we are going to, adhere to the signs. It's basically what it is. God is telling us, really.
Yeah. But that's why I've said, I take a biblical worldview on a lot of things and we're in that end times where people are just lovers of themselves. Where men are lovers of themselves, and they take a very selfish view, even biblically. They are selfish in what they believe. It's what I feel. It's all about feelings. Well, forget what you feel. I feel one way before I have coffee, and I feel a totally different way after I've had coffee in the morning. And usually everybody in my house can tell, oh, mom's had 1 or 2 cups of coffee. This is excellent. I'll talk to her now because I feel a certain kind of way before caffeine. I'm just going to let you guys know. Not a shit. I told you, caramel macchiato, anything sweet. So I feel a kind of way. But we're about feelings, and I don't feel that God really means this. Did he say it? Because if he said it, he really meant it. So that's why you have to have a biblical worldview. You have to have a biblical perspective on things, and take your feelings and set them to the side. Pray about it. Pray about, Lord, why do I feel this way? Is it that I have a compassion, a heart for those that, that are less than, a heart for those that are hurting? That's excellent. Let the Lord use you that way. But we have to stop approaching it and taking this, well, God didn't really. Because you know who said that first? Satan.
Mm-hmm.
Satan was the first to say in the Garden of Eden, but did he really say? But did God really? And we're doing that now as men, and we're doing it in women as from the pulpit, which is, it's not bad enough that all of this wickedness has come against President Trump or anybody, any other real man of God or woman of God. It's that there are not enough Christians to even call it out. There aren't even pastors that say, well, I don't like President Trump, but I definitely don't agree with the witches that are there. They won't even do that.
Exactly.
That's crazy. That's crazy.